Hello, welcome. I'm gonna do a quick mind, body, spirit, pick a card reading. I'm totally new to this, doing it for whoever happens to find it. There's a message here for you somewhere. You can pick between these three. If you want to pick between these little gems, stone things, you can do that too. So we'll just call this pile 1, which is the Bee Tarot. Pile 2 is the Mermaid Tarot. Pile 3 is the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. So here's the pile 1. You can pick whichever of these 3 Empress cards you find that you're most drawn to. That one is for the Bee Tarot. Here's the Empress from the Mermaid Tarot. And here's the Empress from the Dreamer's Journal Tarot. Pile 1, you have Clear Quartz. Pile 2, Bloodstone. Pile 3, Blue Chalcedony. Chalcedony? Chalcedony? I think it's Chalcedony. So, give you some time to look them over, make a decision. And I'll probably put a timestamp for each pile. Okay? All right. Pile 1, welcome. Chose the Empress from the Bee Tarot. So we're just going to do a quick mind, body, spirit for you. Just like a check-in with how you're doing currently. Say that's mind. Now body. Well, for body, I feel like this one's poking out actually. So we'll choose that one. Oh, it's spirit. Look at that. 7 of Swords. Oh. 7 of Swords is a tricky energy for your spirit to be in. Look at that. 7 of Swords. The swords are in the hive. And this bird is making off with a bug, like the spoils of war. Like taking advantage of the chaos and phew, making off with it. So this could be either someone maybe deceiving you, either someone else or yourself. Maybe you could be deceiving yourself, but I'm getting more the energy of like your spirit is disturbed by like someone else making off with maybe a piece of you or a piece of something that you feel is yours. Maybe someone's stealing from you, either energetically or literally stealing. That's really sad. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, that's sad. Take a closer look at this. It's almost like someone's been hunting you or something, like, and this just seems like a maybe it's not necessarily that they were doing on purpose, but maybe something in your life was chaotic and they like took advantage of that. So maybe they weren't like the catalyst, but someone made off with something of yours in a moment of weakness for you. That's really unfortunate. Your peace is so disturbed. That's sad. So I've got the guidebook here. Let me see what the B Tarot 7 of Swords has to say about that. Yeah, it's theft, betrayal, sabotage. Can you see that? Okay. Notice that the image in this card is the same hive and location as the 5 of Swords. Yeah, 5 of Swords. So maybe you had like a 5 of Swords moment earlier where you were in competition with someone. Or, there was just like some kind of destruction. Okay, it is the same woodpecker we see. Ooh. Albeit now making its escape with a beak full of bee larvae. Okay, so this one was actually, this bird was pecking out a hole in this hive and making off with the spoils of that. The scenery of this card is beautiful. A glorious early autumn day with flowers and fruits aplenty, and yet there's catastrophe happening in the midst of it. Yeah, I got this feeling of like, phew, like out of nowhere, like just like terrible. We may have a sense of this when someone has purposely taken something away from us, or when a theft or burglary has taken place. When someone steals something from us, a part of us feels violated. Yeah, I got that feeling, violation, like someone like invaded your home or something. It doesn't need to be something grand or expensive that has been stolen. It can be a colleague who's upstaged you in the workplace, or a relative who has used something you told them in confidence against you. Things can be stolen from us, but so can trust and kindness and compassion. When someone takes advantage of you and takes something that is priceless from you, it may be months or even years before you can get over it. The damage we see to the structure of the hive is, in a way, fairly superficial. The keeper will fix it, but the internal damage that we are unable to see is far more significant. It will take the bees an age to repair their frames and rebuild their nurseries, whereas the woodpecker has flown away with a full stomach and will have forgotten all about it by the morrow. So we're going to focus on the upright. You may be feeling just like this hive. The bruises you sustained have cleared up. You look to all sense and purposes to be functioning normally, but on the inside you're crying in pain. Trusting someone again may take you an age, but it can be done. Oh, that's so sad. Yeah, I did get this feeling like someone's disturbed your peace in like a thunderbolt moment, in just a flash, it feels untenable for you, like you don't even know what to do, you don't know what to say. You just had this terrible thing happen, and it's like you feel like helpless. Oh, that's so. I'm feeling like so much heaviness. That's so sad. I'm so sorry. Oh, man. Oh, let's just see what these other things have to say. Let's do mind next. Queen of Jars. Well, look at her. That is a queen right there. Her honey pot is full. She looks like she knows she's a bad bitch, okay? Sorry for the language if you don't like it, but that's just like the vibe I'm getting from this queen. She's got one foot in the water, one foot out. So maybe you're in like some kind of in-between stage or something. But ultimately, like, maybe logically you understand, like, you've got everything good for you. Like, whatever chaos happened over here, you can rebuild. And maybe you know that. It's just like your spirit is like still in sorrow because maybe this like just happened and you're like, oh my goodness. But ultimately, like, I mean, look at her. Like, she's got this like crown of flowers. All is good in her world. I mean, like, as far as her resources, she's got the hive here, the full honey pot. Like, she's good. The Queen of Jars. The Queen of Jars is the Queen of Cups, I believe. Let me just double check that. Yeah, Jars is Cups. The Queen of Cups is about like nurturing and like emotional compassion. So compassion, maybe like compassion for yourself or compassion for someone else, maybe even compassion for the person that hurt you. Like, maybe in your mind, like, okay, well, even though this person really hurt me, they hurt me for this reason because they're suffering. Like, the bird was hungry, you know, so that's why, like, they went and invaded this place. Like, maybe logically you can understand, maybe even empathize in a way, or just like at least understand like why they would do something like that, even though it really hurts. Because the Queen of Cups is like a very like motherly energy. So maybe you're the kind of person who, if someone hurts you, you like justify it for them. Like, justify why they would do that. Maybe that helps you cope. I don't know. Cope with like, why would they, like, why did this happen? Why did this happen to me? And there can be good in that, but don't take it so far that you don't take care of your own emotions. It's nice to have compassion for other people, but too much compassion for others and not enough for yourself can drain you. You got the clear quartz, which amplifies whatever energy you put into it. So to amplify self-compassion is a really good thing, but it's also be mindful of what energy you're putting out there, because it will snowball. So, you know, a healthy amount of compassion is what we're striving for. Yeah, that's the feeling I'm getting from that. Let's check in on your body here. Let's see what the body's doing. 6 of Pentacles. Oh, that's good. Okay, so the body is balanced. The body, maybe you're giving it everything that it needs. Maybe you know, maybe it seems like you have a good relationship with your body where, you know, you have to put in effort to take care of it so that it can take care of you. Maybe you're eating healthy or getting yourself little treats. You're stocked up on all your stuff that you like. So it looks like you're putting in the work for self-care, and you can continue to do so after something has rocked your spirit so hard. It's really good to focus on taking care of yourself. Self-compassion is like critical, particularly in such painful times. And the clear quartz is here as like a healing sort of energy. Maybe you're drawn to it because you need that healing and just like clearing of negative energy. Maybe you're keeping your surroundings like pretty, or, you know, if there was like an actual physical like tragedy that happened here, maybe you're like rebuilding after all of that. And I would say, like, continue to focus on this energy of, like, you know, sometimes it takes our heart some time to catch up with our brain. But it seems like you know what you need to do to take care of yourself and to heal after this chaos. That's good. Maybe you're putting in the work, like exercising, you know, building muscle. Maybe you're doing practices that you know will like be calming for you. Maybe that's part of what brought you here. If you're watching this, just like focus on doing things that are for you. And as painful as this is, it's temporary. It's a temporary, like, the healing will happen, even though it might take a while, like it was saying in the book. But it is possible. It's not like a total loss. So, yeah, I mean, that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from you. I'm really sorry about whatever darkness happened to you, but like it said, the surroundings are still beautiful. Maybe, you know, in general, your life is good. It's just this thing that happened that's really bugging you. But if you look at that face, you know you've got this. Like, you'll be okay. All right? Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Peace. Hello, Pepper 2. Chose the Empress from the Mermaid Tarot and the Bloodstone. So we're going to do just a check-in, quick check-in on mind, body, spirit. See what's going on in there. Call this mind. Oh, I got a feeling like body, spirit. Okay. All right. Mind. 5 of Cups. Oh no. I'm so sorry. There's so much sadness here. Maybe it seems like there's a lot of grief on your mind, like a fixation on something you've lost. Oh, sorry, that's the doggy. 1 second. Sorry about that. He was scratching to get in. So that kind of gives me a feeling like maybe it's grief over a pet that's passed away. That's so sad. Look how tightly they're hugging, like not wanting to let go. But there's not much of a choice here. That's so sad. I'm so sorry for whatever it is that you've lost. Take that time to grieve. It's okay to grieve. It's okay to be sad. That dog. You want wants out just as quick as he wants in. So maybe it was like an out of nowhere kind of thing. Maybe your mind is restless with this grief. Maybe you're having trouble sleeping. Whatever you lost out on was really important to you. And this card is so dark. You feel like darkness. But you see, out here in the distance, the lighthouse, there's always light. You know, take whatever time you need to grieve and cope with whatever you've lost, whatever difficulty you've gone through. But know that there's always a light close by. There's a village over here too. There's people around you that can help you, that you can confide in. So you're not alone, even though it might feel dark and empty. Because there's these 2 cups right behind you that haven't been spilled, that haven't been tipped. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Maybe it's like you can't stop thinking about it. It just keeps coming up. Don't resist it. Don't fight whatever comes up. Just allow it to come, observe it, and watch it go. Maybe that's why, because the bloodstone is vitality and courage. It does take courage to grieve, really. It takes courage to stand up after something like that happens. But you have it in you, and you're not alone in it. And look at if this was a pet situation, or maybe a loved one that you've lost, they're right here hugging on you. You see? The face is kind of it's sad, but it's still trying to be comforting. Everything's gonna be okay. You'll be okay. Okay, body. Page of Swords. The Page of Swords is like a spunky young hero of the tarot. See this, the Page of Swords is the student of life. So this young mer person here has found this sword, and look how cool it is. They kind of look like they want to learn how to use it, right? So what in regards to your body? Maybe you're taking a class or something, trying to learn something new about your body, about how to take better care of your body or your emotions, your health. Maybe you've been studying cookbooks or something. I don't know why I'm getting cookbooks, but maybe that resonates with you or something. And that's a worthwhile endeavor too, because if you're feeling surrounded by darkness, it's good to invest in learning how to take better care of yourself. Maybe whatever event is leaving you sad has led you to be inspired to invest more in taking care of your body. And that's always a worthwhile thing. There's this hole in the ice up here. There's higher to go. There's higher learning to be had. Is a feeling that I'm getting. It's interesting. Page of Swords, they don't really know what's in store for them yet. They don't know how to wield this sword, but they know it's something they want to do. I just got reminded of the song by Foreigner, Jukebox Hero. You know, he heard one guitar and it blew him away, and then he knew that he wanted to learn how to play guitar like that, so he started rocking. And he just like put so much effort and energy to it, and then he became a jukebox hero. Like, that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting here, of like, okay, I'm gonna put effort into this, I'm gonna really work at this and achieve this goal. That's awesome. That's an awesome thing to do, to have like a focus on, because your health is so important. It like, if your mind is troubled, it's a really good and helpful thing to put like energy into working on your body, because you know, the body affects the mind affects the body. So if you can get your body feeling better, maybe you can get your mind feeling better too. Vitality, that's interesting. And courage. It takes so much courage to be a student, to learn something new, to admit, like, look, there's stuff I just don't know. And there's always room for learning. Okay, Spirit. 8 of Pentacles. 8 of Pentacles is like mastery. Like you've mastered something, or you're learning to master something. You're working on becoming a master. Maybe you're like, it maybe in like an apprentice energy, or maybe you have apprentices. Look at this card. There's like all, this card is so striking to me. It so gives me the energy of like this person like saying like, whoa, look at all these coins I found. Check this out, you guys. And all these people around are like, wow, look at that. And they're all like here. You have like an audience to like greatness that you've either found or cultivated. You know, it takes work to find stuff, right? Sometimes things don't always just like happen. It might be that you have a skill that people admire. It might be the kind of skill that people say, oh, you're so talented. I could never do such and such thing. I could never be so good at drawing. I could never do this or that. And it's like, I wasn't born great at drawing. I had to work at it. So, interesting that your spirit is, I feel like a hunger to like ambition. I sense ambition here. And that's really inspiring, like to have, like if your mind is like going crazy, that you have this ambition to like grow. That's amazing. That's great. Good for you. Curious to see what the book says about this 8 of Pentacles. So check this out. Okay. Have you ever wondered how different the world would look if we all knew there was enough to go around, and that we would all be taken care of by our community? Yeah, community. I feel community here. This is one thing the Fae and Merfolk know. Everyone has a gift and plays a special part in their world, and no one will ever go without. Here in the 8 of Pentacles, the smallest and tallest line up to offer what they have in order to receive their fair share. This is the lesson of value. When we value who we are, so will those around us. It doesn't matter if you're a toad, fairy, or fox. You matter, and you're worthy. That's so great. You may very well be seeing signs of your good work starting to manifest around you, but now is not the time to now is not the time to become complacent or get a big head. You have much more work to do. People are now expecting to see more of your work. You have started to create buzz around who you are and what you do, and who you are and what you do. And now is the time to capitalize on it. You've created a buzz around you about who you are, what you do. You have these skills, like I said, that people around you are like, wow, I can't believe you're so good at that. But everyone has something that they're good at. And no matter what that thing is, it's valuable. Because in a community, like, it's needed and necessary for each of these people to have their own thing that they bring, because one person individually can't do everything alone. You can't do everything alone. Maybe you feel alone, but you have all these people around you that have their own skills that they can help you with whatever you need. Everyone has something that they're a master at, and everyone has something that they're a student at. And it's okay to be a student. It's good to be a student. Yeah, and I'm getting this feeling of like value, that maybe there's like some sense of, oh, what I do isn't valuable. It's not as valuable as other people. Like I feel like this energy of like comparison, like maybe this person feels like, oh, all I have is these sticks and they have these shiny coins. My sticks aren't as valuable as the coins, but everything has its own value. Some things may be flashier than others, or prettier than others, or society has some idea that, oh, one thing is more valuable, but that's all bullshit. That's bullshit. And you don't have to buy into that. You're valuable exactly as you are, with the skills that you have. You're not better than anyone else, and no one else is better than you. Everyone has a part to play. Maybe some of the sense of loss you're feeling. I heard like big fish in a small pond. Maybe you used to be a big fish in a small pond where people really admired you for the skills that you had, but then maybe you moved into a new place or started a new endeavor, or there's some like big change that happened and you're grieving, like, man, I used to feel like such a big fish, but now I'm in this big pond and I feel like such a small fish. But the good thing about being a small fish in a big pond is that there's so much more room to grow. You can be even better than you were in the small pond. You can expand. There's so much room for growth in the big pond. That's a good thing. Yeah, that's the message I'm getting. So, thanks for watching. Have a good day. Peace. Welcome, Pile 3. I chose the Empress from the Mystic Dreamer Tarot. I was wrong in that it was called the Dreamer's Journal. It's the Mystic Dreamer Tarot. You got the blue chalcedony as your little stone, which is used for aiding in like stress relief and improving communication. So right off the bat, I get this feeling maybe there's like something you're struggling to say, to like, maybe you're struggling with communication. There's a need for like speaking your truth. let's get a check-in on mind, body, spirit for you real quick. See? Oh. Is that 3? No, that's more. Let's just have this be mind. Body. And spirit. All right, how's your mind doing? 4 of Swords. 4 of Swords is rest. See how this person is lying, almost looking like dead. Maybe you sleep like a rock. Maybe it's like your mind is calm. Maybe you feel like you're like safe. That's good. Or maybe there's a need for your mind to rest after a period of like, oh, so much activity. 4 of Swords for mine is interesting. Let's see what the book has to say about this particular 4 of Swords. Let's see. Beneath a lavish stained glass window, a woman rests with her arms crossed over her chest. 4 swords hang on the walls around her, representing the problem or problems that surround her. Maybe you're taking a break from problems surrounding you. The situation still exists, but she has, for the moment, removed herself to a quiet, peaceful state of being. Maybe you've been meditating or just taking a break. This card suggests that you have situations, troubles, or problems that need resolution. Maybe these are the problems you're struggling to communicate about. However, this is not the time to deal with them head on. Rather, it is a time to take yourself away, calm down, and heal a bit so that you can approach your issues refreshed. Quiet, peaceful reflection and meditation will bring clear insight so that you can handle the situation to your benefit. I see. So maybe there's some kind of problem you're facing, because ultimately swords they tend to symbolize conflict of the mind. So maybe there is some issue you're dealing with that you're trying to take a break, reflect on, to find maybe a solution to that problem or some way to address that problem. This is like a pause moment. Maybe there's stuff going on right outside your window. Like there's this huge figure here. I feel like maybe this is like some benevolent force protecting you. Maybe you know that you're being protected, and maybe that's why you feel safe to just take a pause from the moment. Reflect before you dive back into whatever that conflict is, whatever that problem is that's been hanging around you. See your body. The sun, look at that. That's awesome. All is good there. Body's being taken care of. She's reaching out for the light. Oh, and it's right there at her fingertips. The birds in the background are soaring. The archway is like a liminal space, like an in-between space. So maybe you're on the an in-between space. Maybe you're in an in-between space right now because of that pause before you get back into that, whatever that conflict is. But in the meantime, it looks like you're taking really good care of your body, which is good. Eating healthy, exercising, doing things to generate, you know, the good chemicals. Let's get the next card. Spirit. I'm quite concerned about Spirit. Knight of Cups. Knight of Cups is this very, here, I'll show you. It's a dreamy sort of energy. Like romantic, graceful. The Knight of Cups is into poetry. You know, he knows he has something good to offer. He can be a little bit too much of a dreamer sometimes, but it seems like you're trying to ground that energy. Look how the birds are kind of going in the same direction. And the sun and the moon, there's like a dichotomy here of like sun, moon, this or that. Maybe you're trying to make a decision between one thing and the other thing. Pondering like, what would be best for me? What does the Knight of Cups say? Knight of Cups. Oh, court cards are the other way. Oh, they have a section of their own in the back somewhere, maybe? Here we are. Okay. This knight moves gently and quietly through a twilight landscape. He's in no hurry, which coincides with that Four of Swords energy, the pause energy. For he's probably lost in his own world of dreams. There is nowhere he would go that is as satisfying as the romantic realms of his fantasies. This knight is the quintessential romantic knight in shining armor. He is chivalrous and romantic and fiercely loyal. He's dreamy, appealing, sensitive, and emotional. He loves art and has a deep appreciation for all beautiful things. He's always a bit of a distracted daydreamer. He may not take action because he's too busy dreaming. Maybe you're pausing too much. He may be too shy to ask you out, but once he takes you out, he'll make you feel like a princess. Common sense is probably not one of his virtues. It's funny. That's interesting. It's saying he may be too shy to ask you out. That is like, there's something you're not saying. I feel like maybe you're in this pause for just a little too long. Whatever you're imagining, whatever solutions you're imagining on your own to this problem, that's only one side of the coin. There's it seems like there's a whole other person or entity involved with this situation, and that your input is just as important as theirs. Like, they need to put an input, you need to put an input, and arrive at some conclusion or compromise. Because if you think, sometimes if you think too long about something, the conclusion you come to on your own isn't necessarily the right one. Like, because maybe if you're listening to your own echo chamber, maybe you're just like going in the wrong direction. Rest is good, but too much rest can lead to stagnation, stagnant energy. There's a need to come out of the coffin and step into the light here. What are you pondering so Who do you need to talk to? Someone needs to hear what you have to say. Maybe you're lost in your daydreams of maybe how it could go badly. Maybe you're overthinking too much. Maybe you're not thinking enough. I don't know, I get this weird feeling of like in this in-between phase, and like you're thinking so much that, gosh, I lost my train of thought. I get this feeling like you're thinking so much that you're keeping yourself in that in-between, in like a liminal space. But if you come right out with what you have to say, or, maybe ponder just a little bit more, but then, don't overthink it. Just like, I'm getting this like feeling of confusion. I'm starting to feel confused. Maybe that's just me because I'm new to this, but it's like getting like lost in fantasies. Like, if you spend a ton of time thinking about like another person, like what they could say, what they might say, what they would say, you create this version of them in your mind that's different than who they actually are. So sometimes when you spend all this time thinking, and you think that they're going to respond in a particular way, and then you go to them and say what you have to say, and then they don't respond that way, it can kind of like crush your dreams a little bit. Like your daydreams, like it can be kind of a rude awakening sometimes. Like, oh, I thought they were going to react this way, but I spent all this time thinking that they would react this particular way, and then I went to them and talked to them, and it was like maybe even the opposite of what I thought they'd do. Like, that happens to me too, where like I spend all this time thinking like, oh, what if they say this? What if they, oh, what if, and then like, what if they get mad at me? And then I go and talk to them, and they're like, oh, that's totally cool. And it's like I made a mountain out of a molehill in my mind. Or maybe, there's situations where like you're so lost in your daydreams that you blind yourself to reality. Like this person's eyes are closed. They're not looking. They're thinking. Yeah, so no wonder you have like, you were drawn to this need for like stress relief, need for calm, and need for speaking your truth, putting yourself out there. The sun kind of gives me the impression like that you have the resources that you need, that you're like in a safe space to be able to say what you need to say. But the sooner you step out of this coffin, the sooner these swords around you, you don't have to really hang around in that. You can like move on if you come out with what you have to say. I get this feeling like there's one more thing you need to hear. Maybe give me like a general, I didn't do this with the other piles, but I have a particular feeling here. Okay, sorry, my phone died. It's kind of an amateur move, but we're all learning here. So maybe that's a message in there for you somewhere. Maybe you're procrastinating, speaking your truth, right? Procrastinating on saying what you need to say. I also got this feeling like maybe you feel like an amateur, and that's why you're not saying anything. Maybe you feel like, oh, I'm just like like an example would be like at work, where you think like, oh, I'm just some lackey, like I'm just some grunt, like they're not going to listen to what I have to say, or what I have to say doesn't matter, or I can just like, if I could just like ignore the problem, maybe it'll just go away. But sometimes like you just have to speak your truth anyway. Like hierarchy and all that stuff, that's all like social stuff that just like in the grand scheme of things, like don't, and it's not that they don't matter, because it's a reality that we have to live with, but in the end we're all humans, and everything that we have to say, no matter who we are, everything we have to say is important. I feel like you need to remember that you are important. Or you need to be reminded that you're important. Okay, let's see what this last card is, because I've got this like feeling. There's a little something. A little something extra. Yes. It does take a lot of courage. A lot of courage to speak your truth. And that's like what a big message is for you right now, that you have to gather your strength. Maybe take this pause moment to gather your strength and then go and say what you need to say. Maybe the lion will roar, but it's all just noise. You can still have the strength to speak up about what you need to speak up about, what you want to speak up about. Especially if it's this kind of thing of like self-advocacy. Self-advocacy is so important, because, if you don't advocate for yourself, who's going to advocate for you? If you don't show up for yourself, who's going to show up for you? Not that you can't rely on other people, not that you can't reach out to other people here. As well you should, because we're all, humans are social creatures and we need each other to live. But you also really need yourself. What you say matters. Your input is important. Look at this like fire. I feel like what you have to say is gonna like light some fire, either for good or for bad. But I feel like it's ultimately for good. Like what's best for you. Yeah, I think that's everything that I have to say on that. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Peace.